shoulder belts, huh? Oh, you do have a shoulder belt.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, my daughter, she just got accepted to be a flight attendant at JetBlue.
How old is she?
She's 21. She's graduating college.
She's gonna go travel a little bit.
Yeah, she wants to travel a little bit. Stay. Okay. Alright. How do I move this up forward a little bit?
You got a bar underneath, just like a car.
Okay.
Just really get it forward so you can get those rudder pedals up.
Okay.
There you go. And give it a wiggle.
Okay.
You want your shoulder harness loose enough so you can reach the fuel selector. If you can't reach the fuel selector, it's not loose enough.
Okay.
That's the furthest
That's
reach.
a problem, yeah.
That's the furthest reach you're gonna have in an emergency.
Right there. Okay, got that. Okay. Checklists.
Let's start the start checklist.
Okay. Seat track, back lock. Locked, avionics off.
Yep, so avionics master's here. You have to pull it and flip it.
Okay.
So it's one of those like locking.
Okay, so it's off here. Okay. Autopilot's off.
Autopilot, same thing. Pull it, flip it.
Okay.
It's off. And also,
pull it?
yep.
Okay, got it.
And so the
We
master's
don't have
off.
those, okay.
The master's off, and then the autopilot itself is off.
Okay. Carb heat off. Where's your carb heat?
Carburetor heat here.
Okay, and put in is off?
In is off.
Alright, beacon's on.
Beacon, all of our light switches down there. You can
Beacon on.
You can turn the nav lights off. Those were left on last night. Beacon.
Strobe on?
No, we won't worry about
No
strobes.
strobe?
Until we get on the runway.
Alright, mixture to full rich.
All the way in.
All the way in. Throttle slight, so
Yep.
that's full, right?
Yep, that's full.
That's out, and then maybe a little bit in.
Yep.
So good. Alright, prime is over here.
Yep. It works the same way as in the Piper.
How many pumps you give it?
Probably just one, maybe two.
Oh, we do like 4. Okay, there's 2.
Make sure it's locked.
Okay, it's locked. Alright, brakes. Pressure, is that all we're checking for?
Yep, it's on the brakes.
Okay. Clear prop! Master to on. They said that's here.
Nope, the master, big red button over there.
Okay. Mags to start.
Yep. Don't see anybody. Alright.
Let's see. Where's your gauges? Okay, right here. Oil pressure's coming up. No oil temperature yet. Gas is full. Mixture. How do you want it?
Bring it out about an inch. About like that.
Okay. It's kind of this. You just stick in the air cup. Alright, seatbelts, harness, flaps are up. Seat vent across. What do we do there? Avionics on. That's this one here. Yep.
I can hear you. I got you too. Alright, transponder on standby. Alright, we always leave the transponder and altitude reporting 1200 if we're going to be VFR. Yep. Alright, we got to go get the ATIS. Yep. So, this is our COM 1, NAV 1. This is COM 2, NAV 2. This is kind of funky, but to get our ATIS, or AWAS, for 128.27, yeah, we just select COM 2 up there in our COM stack. COM 2, okay. No, this one right here. Oh, sorry. Yep, this one, that one selects what you're talking to.
Clear,
this one selects what you're listening to.
2,000, temperature,
And so you can listen to multiple things here.
Dew point, 9er, altimeter, 3012. Manio, Dare County Airport.
Automated weather observation. 1240 Zulu weather. Wind 260 at 8. Visibility 10. Clear below 12,000. Temperature 16 Celsius. Dew point 9er. Altimeter 3012.
Am I right?
Manio,
Yeah, that's pretty
Dare
close.
County Airport.
Automated weather observation.
Go ahead, kill that.
1240 Zulu.
Yeah, you can also play it through the speaker. Okay. So these always select what you're listening to. You can listen to everything at once if you wanted to. Yeah. This selects what you're talking to. So when you're switching between comms, make sure that if say one comm one's coming in real staticky and you want to switch and start using this one because it sounds better. Make sure you're not only listening to it, but you're also talking on it too, because that's a pretty common mistake. You actually got to do both. Yeah. So this is comm 1, that's comm 2? No, this is comm 1. The GPS is comm 1. Okay. We have our two frequencies in there, 122.8 and 122.9. Yeah. Those are the two we're going to need for flying between here and the beach. Where's your standby, to flip them back and forth? That's standby. This is active. So the little worn out button is actually the flip button. Okay, got it. So if you want to change those frequencies, you hit the cursor. Okay. And then you can start typing in whatever frequency you want. We're not going to need to do that though, right? No, it's already set up for what we're going to be doing today. All right, radio test. We don't do a radio test, so what do you do with a radio test? You can call Unicom, just call out Dare County Unicom radio test. Like right here? Yep. And you don't have to give a tail number? Obviously, you can give your tail number, but you can also, if you're just feeling lazy, you can say Dare County Unicom radio test. Dare County Unicom radio test 92 hotel. And then give him a second, hopefully he comes back and says clear. Thank you. There you go. Okay. Radio test taxi light as required. Yep. Daytime, don't need it. Don't need it. Okay, brakes are working. Attitude indicator test. Yep. So just level it up, and as we taxi out, you want to make sure that your attitude indicator isn't turning and wobbling like that. Okay. Same with your turn coordinator. Turn coordinator, you want the wing to dip into the turn, the ball to go away from the turn. Okay. And then your directional gyro, you want it to turn with the turn. Magnetic compass, it turns, I think if it turns opposite the turn, but it really turns with the turn. Which one's the bug and which one's the, okay, that's the bug. That screws me up how this turns one way and that goes the other way. Yeah, so that really turns with the turn, but it turns, if you're going right, it actually turns left. Yeah. Alright, so that was that, right? So, yes, sir. Okay, run-ups, we're not going to do the run-up, we're going to taxi. With the wind direction, what runway do you think we're going to use? We're going to use 23. Alright. There's no other traffic that I can see, so we can do our run-up down there next to the runway without being anybody's way. Alright. That'll give sufficient time for the oil to get warm. Alright, so trim down to takeoff. Yes, sir. And, this guy here. So we have two crossing runways. Runway 3517 is directly in front of us, right here. Yep. It runs from the trees to the left, to the trees to the right, behind our right wing. Yep. We need to cross both runways down to Alpha, and then take a right on Alpha, and we'll have to cross this runway again, get down to 23. Okay. All right. So go ahead and taxi up, and we'll just start looking around, make sure there's nobody coming. I'm sure you're somewhat familiar with multiple runway operations coming from a Charlie. Yeah, except that, yes, that's true. But they give me the clearances to cross. Go ahead and slow it down. Very good, let's stop. Very good. Don't want to cross that line until you've cleared the area. Alright, so there's nobody coming to the right. Nobody landing? Nobody coming from the left over there. That one's hard to see because of the wing. High wing operations. Yeah. Nobody coming from the runway 5 over there, over the water. Right. And then 2-3. Again, our wing is in the way, so we gotta make sure we're paying attention. And I like to just cross both runways at once. Okay. Instead of making multiple radio calls and clogging up the radio. Okay. Just make sure all the runways are clear, and then just cross all at once. So we can go ahead and cross now. All right. So what's our radio call? We just tell Dare County that 939 Hotel is crossing all the runways on Delta. Dare County 92 Hotel crossing both runways on Delta, Dare County. There you go. Ready to across. Yep, go straight across. Taxiway Alpha is the large taxiway that goes down the full length of runway 523.
Got it. That's on the other side.
Yep, it's right across next runway. This taxiway used to be a runway, so you might easily get it construed for a runway.
Yeah. They coming there?
Nope.
Anybody can.
Clear right, clear left.
That's 523 right there?
Yes, sir.
This is Alpha here. We turn a right on Alpha?
Affirmative. There you go. Pull back some power. That way you don't hit the brakes so much.
Yeah.
Did the instructor ever tell you ride the brakes too much?
No.
You ride the brakes too much.
Okay.
He was just waiting to tell you.
Alright, that's good.
There you go. You see the yellow lines dashed?
Yep.
Coming up on the threshold, so we need to stop. Power out. There you go. We're going to be crossing 1735 on Alpha here. So we'll make another radio call saying that.
Dare County 92 Hotel crossing 1735 on Alpha. Dare County.
Alright, clear left. Clear right. Everybody coming in? And we'll cross. Taxi just a tiny bit slower. You're taxiing like you're in a rush. It might be coming from a Charlie airport. All those jets we had to keep up with.
Not many. We actually have drones, military drones that fly out of there. Have them
Really?
taxiing behind me. Yeah, it's
Wow.
wicked cool.
Alright, coming up on the end of 2-3 here. Yeah, when you start seeing those dashed yellow lines on the side of the center line, that's when you know you need to start slowing down. It's like a caution light. There we go. Now let's do the run up. Don't get
Turn into the wind a little bit.
no. Well, there's not a whole lot of room here to turn into the wind. So
Okay.
if you can, then yes. If you don't have enough room, then don't worry about it too much.
Okay.
But don't you keep stopping like right on the center line, right on the threshold lines?
Okay.
During the run up, it's easy to be reading the checklist, and then you let go of the brakes a little bit, and you start rolling into the runway.
So just be back a little bit.
When you do a run up on a threshold, just hold back a little bit. That way, if you start rolling forward, you don't cause a runway incursion.
Got it.
All right.
Alright, so brakes are set. Fuel is on
both.
Okay.
So we got left, right. Both is in the middle.
Okay, got it. Alright, Tim, we already set the takeoff, flight controls. Right. Okay. And I guess you can
bring
see
it
the
back.
tail, but we can't see the tail on ours. Alright, okay, instruments, what are we checking on?
Six pack. Checking your airspeed's reading 0.
So we're actually
That attitude indicator level. Within 75 feet of field elevation here. 0 on the VSI because we're not climbing or descending.
right.
DG, that's pretty much set to our magnetic compass. And then turn coordinator, wings level, ball centered.
Got it.
And then magnetic compass. Just make sure it looks like it's not stuck or anything.
It's actually not. Like. Oh,
Yep. Test.
alright, mixture to best power. All the way in?
Yes, sir.
Alright, primer in and locked. That we did. 1700 RPM. Where's our RPM?
RPM gauge is down there to the left.
Got it. Okay, mag. Left. A drop. Back. Right.
Whoops, too far. Yeah, let's do it again. 1, now 2.
Okay. And now we're on both. And then we gotta do the oil pressure. Looks good. Lights as required. Oh no, I'm over here. Okay, oil pressure, oil temperature. It's green. Idle, check close. I mean,
Don't skip things. You skip 3 things.
oh, I did, yeah.
Carburetor
Carb heat, where's that?
So pull the carb heat out. Look for the drop.
Got it. All right, vacuum.
Vacuum's that little tiny window next to the clock.
Oh, okay.
So we want it,
5 is good?
yeah, we want it around 5.
Temps and volts.
Yep. Ammeter down there to the bottom left.
That's 0.
Yeah. This little red light right here indicates if your alternator is no longer working appropriately or is disconnected by the voltage regulator or the over voltage relay.
So we're looking for that.
If you're looking at this, you don't want it to be negative. 0 is okay, positive is okay, negative is bad.
Okay. Oil pressure. Oil pressure is in the green, but right up at the top of the green. So I assume that's okay. Oil temperature is in the green. Idle check closed. I mean, pull it all the way.
All the way up.
Sure she doesn't die off on us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pre-takeoff flaps 0 to...
Yep, so we're going to leave flaps. So this flap indicator, or flap lever, you hold it. You don't have to hold it, actually. This is the 3-stage one. So it clicks down, it'll dump that down all the flaps at once unless you turn it off.
Okay.
When neutral is in the middle, so it'll stop. And then if you don't watch it, if let's say we have to do a go-around, you bring the flaps up. If you bring it up like that and forget about it, then it's going to dump all your flaps up at once.
Okay.
So the best way to actuate your flaps is to hold it down 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi 3, and then cut it off. Make sure every time you turn it on that you cut it off.
Okay.
Every 3 seconds of flaps is about 10 degrees, but the way that it's set up.
So you can literally have 15 degrees of flaps if you want?
Yeah, you can have 5 degrees, you can have 6 degrees, 7. It's up to your imagination.
No shit.
How much flaps you put in.
Okay.
So don't worry too much about the degrees.
Yeah.
Initially, we teach you 10 degrees on the configuration, 20 on base, 30 on final.
Yeah.
But you start to feel it, and it's really flaps as necessary. However you feel it, however much flap you want, that's how much you put in.
Okay.
If you're really high and you want to lose some altitude and make a steeper descent, you put more flap in. Maybe you have a really high wind at the Outer Banks, that's not uncommon. You don't want to put 30 degrees of flaps in, maybe, because that's going to hold you back and cause a lot of drag, and you're going to be dragging it into the runway fighting the headwind.
Right.
So it's up to your discretion on flaps. Remember, they're not necessary for flight. They're actually not standard on a lot of airplanes. So
Yeah, we take off 0 flaps.
yep. So we'll take off 0 flaps and verify they're all the way up.
All right, mixture to best power. We're there. Carb heat to off. All right, we just fix that. Doors and windows, closed and locked. Transponder to 1200 in altimeter mode. Landing light on.
Bottom top right white switch. Landing light.
Okay. Strobes.
Yep. Bottom right.
And note the time.
9 o'clock.
Release the brakes.
All right. So just run through the takeoff real quick.
All right, so we're going to do full throttle. We're going to check the oil pressure, rotate it. Okay, so
We're in knots.
we're in knots. So that's the 55, right?
Yeah, around 55 knots. Remember, rotation just means you start pulling back. It doesn't mean you have to start flying yet.
Okay. 55, and then VY is 73.
Yep. So if you start rotating around 60 and you climb out around 80, then that's just above both of those. It gives you a little bit more control authority to fight the wind.
Okay.
All right.
Why are we going an up attitude here?
And until we really start running the engine up and get vacuum, these two instruments like to be off a little bit.
Okay. All right. Good to go. All right, so we're going to brief the takeoff roll, right? So
We're going to back taxi on the threshold.
Yep.
So we have the full length of the runway, even though we don't have any obstacles on the other end besides a little bridge a mile off.
Yep.
We'll climb up to about 1,000 feet, maybe 1,500 feet initially, and then we'll head out to the east. We'll do a crosswind to downwind departure. We're kind of sticking with the traffic pattern. We'll turn left crosswind, left downwind, and then we'll just go straight out to the beach.
Okay.
And see if we can find your place.
Okay.
Do some maneuvering around for a little bit, let you get used to the way the airplane flies, and then we'll come back in and do some landings.
All right, that sounds good.
All right.
All right, and if we have an engine problem on takeoff, if we're still on the roll, we're going to shut her down and hit the brakes. If we are a few feet off the ground and we still have runway, we're going to shut her down and land right ahead. Under 1,000 feet, we are going to look for an emergency landing, but we're just going out over water, so what the hell do you do there?
Well, if we have an emergency after takeoff, depending on altitude, we rather turn it around and try to land in the water as close to shore as possible so that people don't have to come get us by boat.
Okay.
Or we turn around and I land in the grass if we have sufficient altitude.
Okay. All right. Because we're not going to make the same runway.
Yeah. So you heard of the impossible turn.
Oh yeah.
Impossible turn is when you try to turn around and make the same runway.
Yep.
Fortunately, we have 2 runways and we have a nice big field, so we might be able to at least turn around and make another runway or make the grass at some point.
Okay.
All right. Nobody coming on final.
Nobody coming on final.
And
Nobody coming the other way.
Yep.
All right. So make our radio call.
Yes, sir.
Dare County 92 Hotel taking runway 234. Takeoff. 92 Hotel, Dare County.
All right, Tom, show me what you got.
Yeah, right.
Like the confidence. I can scoot up just a little bit.
What's that?
I said you might need to scoot up your chair just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Do that when we get lined up with the center line. Just get it centered up or scoot up about an inch or 2.
We'll make this baby turn a little fast tighter.
Yeah, that's why I said you need to scoot up your chair because you.
Oh, okay.
I looked down. I saw your feet. And you're kind of struggling to put the pedals in all the way. There you go.
All right. So let's.
I'll hold the brakes while you do that.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a little better.
A little bit better?
Yeah.
All right. Get the nose wheel centered up and then we'll go.
Okay.
You have the controls.
My controls. That's one thing we don't do, is we don't transfer the controls back and forth, so. It's just me the whole time and he just helps. Okay. Ready?
All right, let's do it.
Let's make a radio call, or are we done?
You already made your radio call.
Okay.
Just ease it into full power. Let's get rolling a little bit and straighten up the nose wheel. And then just bring it in. A little bit quicker. There you go.
Speed fly 50. Pull back. We're going back. Keep your hand on the power. There you go.
Just in case you gotta avoid the takeoff.
Okay, looks like we got VY here. Yeah, work on right rudder on takeoff.
Yeah, we got a little bit of right crosswind.
Well, even just with the left turning tendencies we give. Okay, let's see, we're coming through 500. Now I feel comfortable.
Now you feel comfortable?
Now I feel comfortable. Just had to get the takeoff roll out of the way.
Let's go and make that cross.
So at 800 feet, we're going to do that?
I usually make it at 500-600 feet.
Oh, okay. So, let's see. Crosswind. Oh. Alright, what heading are we going to?
We'll just make a downwind and then we'll head off to the east.
Okay, so you want to go 180 degrees?
Yep.
Dare County 92 Hotel, going from crosswind to downwind. Dare County. Should have called out the runway there, huh?
Yep.
Alright, so we're still climbing. What altitude are we climbing to?
1,500.
1,500, alright.
Do you see the big sand dunes up there in front?
Yeah.
We'll just head toward them. Jockey's Ridge? Yep.
And then I'm going to start to level off. Attitude. Now we're down to what?
About 22 to 23. So what we're doing around 2,200 RPM is what you initially want to pull back to.
Here,
identified screaming, attitude, power, then trim.
Bitch, power, trim.
Yeah.
Or else you're going to be chasing your butt. You cause yourself more workload when you trim, then power, then trim, and then you're chasing.
Is that why?
yourself.
You never explained why. It's just,
Yeah, it's more work.
Yeah. Alright, so there's 2200. I'm actually a little high.
Turning to a 45 left hand downwind.
There we go.
Sorry.
I'll go ahead and switch over to 122.9 for the beach traffic. It's the worn out button. On the top one.
Oh, sorry, yeah. You're right. There you go. Okay, so now we're good there.
The water is like the differential mark. About halfway over the water, you just switch over to the beach traffic first flight frequency.
And that's first flight over there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. You go and kill the landing light, strobe light.
Alright, which strobe off, that's landing light right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then we're not going to worry about leading out the mixture since we're only at 1,000 feet at sea level.
Okay.
It's really not that big of an issue. It also helps keep the engine nice and cool when we're running during the summertime.
Alright, so...
Alright.
Yeah, we're doing good. Trimmed out, nice.
Yeah. This airplane's kind of difficult to fly. Most people have a hard time getting it nice and trimmed out because for whatever reason. If you can get it trimmed out, you're doing pretty good. This is Jockey's Ridge here, the big sand dunes.
Yeah, we were on it the other day.
Nice. Flying a kite?
No, just walking it.
You see anybody try to slide down the sand on a surfboard?
No.
That's the Outer Banks Pier up ahead to the left.
Okay.
So we can just hang north, and eventually we'll get up to the place where you're staying, and then the Wright Brothers Monument. We can start doing some turns around that or something. Just have fun with it for a little bit. You're on vacation, see the area.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this all week.
Enjoy it a little bit. I'll go stress you out a little bit in the traffic pattern when we get done.
Okay. Alright, so we can see first flight from the hotel, or from where we're staying.
You see the monument?
Yeah, we can actually see it from the dining room. It's pretty nice.
Nice. Suction's good, engine gauges are still good, engines are still good, still have gas.
We're at
Directional gyro processed a little bit. Now that we're up and we are making good vacuum and stuff, it shouldn't process all that much. But when we're on the ground, it processes quite a bit.
I can find where we are. I'll be darned if I know it.
Traffic, Shark 7, showing elevation, final 350.
I think we're somewhere right in here.
I think milepost 10 is just about the same area as the high school. So if you look to the left of the monument,
Yeah.
you can see the school area.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And follow that to the beach, and you're somewhere in there around milepost 10. So this is all congested area up our left, so how high do we have to be above congested area?
I don't know the answer to that actually.
1,000 feet. 1,000 feet AG above the highest obstacle within 2,000 feet distance. So every obstacle down there is less than 500 feet, so we need to be, around 1,300 feet, 1,400 feet.
wing waggle? Can we do that?
Yeah. Are you saying hey?
What's that?
Are you trying to say
I'm
hey?
saying hello. Yeah.
He's communicating. You'll give me a turn around, point around the place you're staying if you see it.
Alright, so... I don't have a hard time seeing it. I have a guess that we're close. But we can go in there and do a turn around it?
Yeah, go on and fly on in there and see if you can find it. There's no other traffic at the airport.
Okay, we're climbing. Why are we climbing in a turn?
You pulled back when you initially started turning.
Oh.
First flight traffic 939 to hotels 1,500 east of the field, maneuvering first flight.
So that's the high school there then, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So then we must be like right around here.
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. Red 4Runner in the driveway. Thought I'd be able to see that, but probably not.
You got 2 red 4Runners?
1 Red 4Runner.
Give me climb up to 2,500 feet.
2,500 feet, alright. So, attitude. And then power. We'll start climb power.
As necessary. The more power you put in, the faster you climb. The more power you take out, the faster you descend.
You know, I always thought that the low wing airplane, oh, you know, the wings down there, they kind of really cut off your view, but you know what? The high wing really isn't. And the butt, you can't.
Yeah, but now you can see down when you fly.
You can see down, but you can't see, you know.
But when you
You
turn,
can't see traffic.
but when you turn, you can't see anything. You can't see anything over there.
Okay, 500 feet a minute. You ever watch Jason Miller on the Finer Points videos?
Yeah,
He's phenomenal.
I've seen them. I've never really watched it, but I've seen them.
I think it's phenomenal, but I'm only got 15 hours. Somebody, you got like 2,000 or 3,000, right?
I wish.
No? What are you coming up on? What's your target here?
1,500?
1,500, okay.
Like 1,450 right now or something like that.
So we're going to start to level off, push the nose forward a little bit. Now to a little low. Okay, push the nose down. Attitude, hour. There you go. Make 200, and then trim it.
Alright. Do you see the Oregon Inlet over there?
The what? Yeah.
Oregon Inlet? Yeah, the bridge going across?
Yeah.
Let's turn toward that.
Okay.
And that'll give us a heading of roughly 180. We're going to hold 2,500 feet and just give me some steep turns in a minute. And we do the steep turns and the cruise configuration, everything cruised out. We're going to leave the mixture rich though. So the carpeet's cold, mixture is rich, the flaps are up, power is set to cruise. When you get nice and trimmed out, our clearing turns are already completed. We'll just look around real good. And you do clearing turns for every maneuver, right?
Yep. So you want a 45-degree bank, or you're looking 30 degrees?
45-degree bank.
45-degree bank. Okay.
So left or right, your choice.
Okay.
But whatever which way you start, let's do the opposite direction once you roll out on the Oregon Inlet.
Okay.
So ease into a 45-degree bank, keep your altitude, and let's do one.
I haven't done these in a while now, so.
I know. Look outside though. Keep that nose up on the horizon. If you let the nose down, you're going to descend. If you pull the nose up and all you see is sky, you're going to climb. Keep on going. I'll tell you if you're at 45 degrees of bank or not. There's 45. Hold it. Just look outside and hold 45. That piece of earth between the dash and the horizon. There you go. A little bit more bank. Tiny bit of right rudder. Make sure you stay coordinated, and when you hit that right rudder, your nose is going to want to come into the turn, so you hold it up even a little bit more. A little bit more back pressure. A little bit more back pressure. A little bit more bank. There you go. Oregon Inlet's coming up. We're going to roll out, and then we're going to go to the left. There you go. Go ahead and go on to the left. Keep that nose up, though. There's 30, a little bit more. There's about 40, about 45. Keep that nose up. More. Pull back. Pull back. There you go. Pull back just a little bit more. A little bit more. You really got to keep fighting it. If you stop pulling back even for a second, that nose is going to drop. Pull back. There you go. You're holding it, and you're holding it. And then the Oregon Inlet's coming up, and you're rolling out. Last time you rolled out, you pushed down. Don't push down. You got your altitude. Just keep on flying. Wasn't bad. You were a little shy on the right turn. You were almost right on it on the left turn as far as bank angle is concerned.
Yeah, I haven't done those in like 2 months.
Yeah. it really lets you know how much you need to fight the airplane. Yeah. If you in a steep turn, a good entry means a good steep turn. To make a good steep turn, you need to keep your bank angle constant. If your bank angle is doing this, then your altitude's going to be doing this. So because you're pulling back, and if your bank angle is doing this, then your altitude's going to be going up.
Because your lift is going to be changing.
Because your lift vector is going to be changing.
Yeah.
So just when you roll into it, look outside, keep the nose up, never let the nose drop down below the horizon. You're going to be doing like a roller coaster.
Yep.
And then get that bank angle and just hold it and hold it and hold it. If you can get into it smoothly, then the whole turn is going to be just a breeze.
Okay.
Right, that wasn't bad though.
And then for the test, you got to stay within 100 feet.
Within 100 feet. You were right on your altitude until you rolled level the first time. You were pushing down.
Okay.
I guess you expected to balloon up a little bit. You started pushing down a little bit. And then you went into the left turn and you got your altitude back.
And the reason why I did that is because, normally when when you turn, right, you got to pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because of the lift vector. And I think I was just, like you said, I was just expecting to come up.
You're expecting to come up, so you pushed forward. It was very slight, but you lost 100 feet.
Yeah.
Let's turn around so we're on a heading of 360, just going northbound up the beach.
Now we don't have to, I really don't use any rudder in the Piper.
When you turn right, you need a little less rudder. When you turn left, you need a little more rudder. Or typically, when you're talking about steep turns, you neglected your right rudder the first time, but then the second turn to the left, it was pretty much centered. Beach traffic 9392 hotels. Beam the body Island Lighthouse 2500 maneuvering beach traffic.
Beach traffic, you called it? Beach traffic?
Beach traffic. From the beach all the way up and down the east, the outer banks, it's all 122.9.
Okay.
So it's just our way of doing things.
Gotcha.
Alright, let's drop it into some slow flight. That turn around will be our clearing turn.
Okay.
Didn't see anybody.
Alright.
We're gonna hold 2,500 feet and we're gonna just drop it into some slow flight. So, when are we gonna be in slow flight? Realistically?
I don't know, about 60 miles an hour.
When are we gonna have to get the airplane configured for slow flight?
Oh, on landing.
On landing. So what checklist are we gonna do?
What?
What checklist are we gonna do to get ready
The
for that?
pre-landing checklist.
Right, so if you forget how to do it, or if you're an unfamiliar airplane, the pre-landing checklist is perfect.
Okay, so landing light on. You want to do all that?
Yep.
Alright, so landing light goes on, autopilot is off, seatbelt harness, mixture to best power, carb pizza on.
Yep. Bring it on back.
Fuel is on both, and what do you want for flaps?
Alright, so we can toss that to the side now. And now, what I want you to do is find something out in front of you.
Yep.
Look way out in the distance.
Got it.
Directly in front. Don't look inside.
Got it.
Pull the power back. Doesn't matter what you pull it back to, just chop it back. I'll let you know if you don't pull it back enough. A little bit more. There you go. See how the nose drops? Don't
Yep.
let it. Hold it up. Hold it up.
Hold the nose.
Keep looking outside, just hold that nose up.
Got it.
More. Hold back more. You can retrim the airplane too if you need to help that hold that nose up.
Okay, we're at idle now.
Yep, starting to lose some altitude, so let's hold it up even more. Hold it up even more, be a little more aggressive with it.
Okay.
And now reach over and count 3 seconds of flaps. 1 Mississippi.
1,
2, 3. Come. 3
Okay.
more. 1,
2, 3.
3 more.
1, 2, 3. We're at 50. We're going to stall here.
No, we're not going to stall. We're going to keep holding our altitude. There's a stall horn warning, and you're going to get the power in. Just get it all the way into full. Hold that nose level. Now note your airspeed.
Yeah.
Around 40.
Yeah.
45 to 50 is what you want, so stop pushing down. Pitch for that airspeed of 50.
Oh, okay, 50, yeah.
Pitching for
We're going to do
50.
a power on stall now or not?
No, we're just doing slow flight.
Okay.
Alright, you're pitching for airspeed, you're powering for altitude. Gotcha. So let it down a little bit. If you get too slow, push the nose forward a little bit.
Yep.
If you get too fast, pull the nose back a little bit. Try to be smooth so that you stay around 50 knots on the airspeed.
Got it.
Right.
50 knots.
Your altitude should be 2,500, so we lost a bunch, we're coming back up. If you hear the stall horn warning,
Yeah.
it means push forward.
Yep.
It's like your push forward indicator.
Or let release any pressure.
Yeah. And we've been turning to the left while we've been getting into the entry, so let's get back on whatever was in front of you to begin with. So look outside. You really want to look outside on the entry there. If you're looking inside, you're going to be all over the place.
Okay.
Alright, and we're in slow flight. Alright, we got our altitude. So if we have our altitude, we bring power back a little bit, bring it back to about 2,000. There you go, that's probably good. Then we'll just fly along. About, in a Cessna 172, 2,000 RPM is like that marker. If you're less than 2,000, you're probably going to be descending and not holding your altitude. If you're more than 2,000, you're probably going to be climbing. If you're at 2,000, you're going to be holding about that. That's the altitude you need. But you can feel it's all squishy. It feels weird.
Yeah, can I do that a little bit?
Yep. Let's give me a left turn to 270.
Yeah, she's just doing that. Left turn 270.
Yep. Yeah, you want to make these turns nice and smooth.
Yeah, you don't want them too banky, right?
Yeah, because you're not making a lot of lift right now. You don't have a whole lot of lift to be throwing in sideways.
Right.
Right. Not too fast there.
Yeah, it's went past it.
Alright, starting to climb just a little bit, and your airspeed's starting to get a little high, so bring back power just a tiny, tiny bit. No, bring it back. There you go. Keep that airspeed, power for altitude.
Airspeed's at 50.
Yep. Unfamiliar airplane, never flown a Cessna in slow flight, it's going to feel real weird.
Yep.
Alright, give me a right turn so that we're going back up the beach. Alright, so if you have to do a go around, in your Piper, what do you do?
We haven't done go-arounds.
You haven't done go-arounds?
Nope.
Well, what would you think you need to do if you need to go do a go-around?
I would need to dump my flaps back to 0 and then full power.
Well, if you dump your flaps back to 0 when you're at a slow airspeed, you're gonna start dropping.
I'm gonna lose my lift.
You're gonna lose. You're taking out lift. Yeah, you're
Okay.
decreasing drag, but you're taking out a lot of lift that you need to keep flying.
Yeah, so I need to do power first.
Power first.
Get a little airspeed and
Get a
then...
little airspeed. Once you put full power in, the nose is gonna want to come up. Because when you put flaps in, your center of lift moves forward, which wants to bring the nose up. That's true with any airplane.
Okay.
So when you put full power in, hold the nose level. All right. As you get a little bit of airspeed, pull the flaps up a little bit at a time. Don't just dump them, because you're throwing out all that lift at once. Right. Bring them up a little bit at a time until they're back to 0. That way you're taking out the lift in little increments, and you're not going to just lose. You're not going to just get that sinking feeling. Right. So let's do that now. Let's just do a go around, but let's hold our altitude. Okay. So let's just look out, full power, and get the carpet in.
So full power first?
Yep. Power all the way in, carpet in. There you go. But yeah, just hold
the altitude.
Yeah, just hold it where you know the altitude is level. And then just as you get airspeed, just click up the flaps a little bit at a time. Very small increments. That'll make your recovery smoother. Yeah, a little bit at a time. You can feel every time you take flaps out, the nose wants to draw, like kind of wiggle around on you. Yeah. Just hold it where you know it's level. And then bring them all the way up. Make sure you hold your altitude. Hold that nose up. There you go. And we're getting back to cruise, and we just bring the power back to whatever our cruise power setting will be, about 22. It's the same thing you do on a go-around. The only difference is you climb, you start climbing eventually. Okay. Because you want to get away from the ground. For slow flight recovery, we're just demonstrating, that you can actually hold your altitude and all that stuff for your check ride. Realistically, when you do slow flight recovery, you're going to be coming into land, and you're going to need to get the airplane cleaned up while not dumping out all your flaps and getting some airspeed. So you get the power in. In this airplane, you got the carpet out too, so you get the power and carpet in. You hold the nose down just for a second or two, get some airspeed, and as you get more airspeed, you just bring the flaps up, and then you start to climb out.
Okay.
Alright.
Why don't you just leave the flaps in?
Well, you're not going to be able to climb out very well with 30 degrees of flaps. Or if you have 40 degrees of flaps.
Well, you got more lift, right?
Yeah, but you got a lot more drag.
Yeah, right.
It's going to decrease your climb performance by like a very strong margin.
Okay.
You want to get those flaps out. Yeah, you get more lift, but they also decrease a lot of drag. So you want to get rid of that drag so you can really get away from that ground.
And get more airspeed.
Yeah, get more airspeed. Gotcha. All right. Get back to 2,500 feet. Oh.
Pitch, power. Pretty up here.
Oh, that's really pretty. Water.
If you needed to do a forced landing, would you put it on the beach?
Yep.
That'd be your choice?
Oh, this time of the year. In the summertime, it's not an option. There's too many people. I would rather go for the road or go for the water.
You'd do the water right near the beach.
Right next to it. Yeah, as close as possible. I'd still shoot kind of maybe the beach and water. Yeah. If there's a big opening. Yeah. All right. Let's get it back into slow flight. Let's look out in front. Yep. Let's keep that heading or whatever's out in front of us. Let's go ahead and pull that carpet back. Carpet back. Pull the power back. There you go. Hold that nose. We want to hold our altitude. We don't want to sink. Last time we sunk about 300 feet. Then we want to make sure we're in the white arc and go ahead and start dropping in 30 degrees of flap. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi 3, and then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi 3, and then 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi 3. And there you go. There's 30 degrees. Now we're starting to get kind of slow. We're not going to stall it. We're just going to get a stall horn warning. So keep pulling it back. Keep pulling it back. Get your hand on the power, ready to go. There's a stall horn warning, so we hold the nose level, get the power in. Now we got our airspeed, about 50. But this time we're not going to do slow. We're not going to hold our altitude. We're going to let the power back just a little bit, and we're going to let the nose down. Okay. So we're going to enter descent. So just bring the power back a little bit more. Bring the power back a little bit more. Actually, just bring it to idle, all the way back. Just let the nose down. We're going to keep that airspeed, and we're going to start a descent, just like we were coming into land, right? Yep. We're on short final. The runway's out in front of us. We're coming up. We have 30 degrees of flaps. There's no traffic. We're about to land.
Our target speed is what, about 75?
About 70.
70.
All right. Well, about 65 on short final.
Okay.
But we're coming in. It's time to rotate, so we rotate. Let's pull it back. Pull it back. You got to fly it straight and level down the runway, right? You don't want to keep sinking down into the runway. Pull it back. More. Be aggressive with it. Pull it back. Harder. We run out of airspeed. The airplane sinks to the ground. Only we don't have a runway, so we're going to stall. And then there's a stall, and we just release a little bit. Now we do a go around. So full power, heartbeat in. Start a little bit of a climb, and start pulling up your flaps a little bit at a time. And we just now we start a climb because we're doing a stall recovery. So make sure we're climbing. Alright, so that's what we're going to do when we're doing landings. Okay. It's slow flight, yep, and then a stall. Only, there's no runway underneath us right now, so when we're bringing it up and we're holding it off and we're holding it off and we're holding it off, we're not sinking down and touching down. We're going to stall, and we're doing a stall recovery up here. Got it. Alright, we do that one more time? Yeah. Let's get back to 2,500 feet and do it again. Parallel moving again. You're not pulling back hard enough. I was having to pull back with you to actually get it. Yeah, you were. You really gotta pull. If you don't pull hard enough when we're coming into land, if you don't pull hard enough and you don't really straighten this thing out straight and level on the ground, you're gonna go right into it on the nose. And that's a no-no. Yeah. You never want to do that on a tricycle here. Heartbeat back. Power back. Just chop it back to around 15 or so. There you go, that's good enough. Hold the nose up. When you start getting in the white arc, start dropping in your flaps. So in the white arc, 10 degrees, then another 10 degrees, then another 10 degrees. There you go, that's pretty close. Now just hold your altitude. As the nose wants to drop, keep pulling it up. Keep pulling it up. Alright, we got 60 knots. Let's go ahead and let the nose over. And that's pretty much your landing configuration flow. You go from left to right. Heartbeat, power, mixture in, drop in the flaps as necessary. Let it over, catch your airspeed, and you're coming into land.
I want to speed up a little bit, right? We're going a little slow?
No, we're going fine. We don't want to wait forever to stall. So
okay.
now the runway's in front of us. We need to rotate. We're going to hit the ground. So we pull the power. If we're
power all the way back.
Yeah, power back. Now hold it off. Hold it off the ground. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Pull it back. You're still sinking. Pull it back. Pull it back. There you go. The nose isn't in the air. You're not going to stall. You can't. If you see the land in front of you, you're not going to stall. Pull it back. Pull it back. Harder. 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 More. Harder. Harder. Pull it hard.
See us losing.
No, pull it hard. Pull it hard. Look outside. There it is. Release. All right, do it again. If you're looking inside, you should be looking outside the entire time. It doesn't matter what's going on in here.
Yeah.
All right. Look outside, and if the nose isn't above the horizon, you're not going to stall. Pull it up.
Okay.
Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it up. Up. It should look like that the entire time. Keep pulling up. Keep pulling up. Harder. 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 There it is. Release. Just a little bit. There we go. Now do a go around.
Okay, So power.
Power, heartbeat in, start a climb. And as you climb, just bring a little bit of flaps up at a time. And we're all the way up. Alright. The nose isn't, if you see land in front of you, you're not going to stall. When you're coming into land, and your nose gear is going to hit. If you're coming into land and you still see what's on the other side of the runway as you're about to touch down, you're going to land flat. Okay. All right? It's kind of the same thing. So to break the stall, you have to get into the stall by keeping the nose above the horizon. As you get slower, it becomes harder to do that, right? To really pull it back, right? When you get the stall, release it so you can see land in front of you, and then you've broken the stall, basically. As long as you put that nose a little bit below the horizon, just a little bit, you're gonna not stall anymore. You're gonna break the stall. When you're coming into land, if you see land in front of you, then you're gonna land flat. Unless that nose is in the air and you can't really see, at the very end, as you know you're about to touch the ground, that nose should be in the air and you should be able to see kind of anything in front of you. The nose should be kind of right up on the other end of the horizon out in front of you.
Okay, so when we hit the roundout, right, we're coming down, sight picture is, you're totally looking at the ground. When you hit the roundout, I mean, it's going to look like this, right?
Yeah. Okay. You imagine like you're taxiing down the runway, only you're 4 feet in the air. That's what it should look like.
Okay.
All right.
So that should be the sight picture.
As you round it out, you should be completely level above the ground like this.
Okay.
All right.
And then when she starts to sink,
If the power is out, you're going to start sinking. Unless you put power in, you're not going to be able to hold altitude. So you're not trying to force it on the ground. You're trying to just hold it off the ground. And as you try to hold it off the ground, you try to hold your altitude. You try to hold your altitude, she starts to sink. As she loses airspeed, she starts to sink, and you start pulling the nose up, and you land on the mains.
Right.
All right. Let's go ahead and head back to the airport and do some landings.
Back there, right?
Yep.
We're going to make a radio call for flying over first flight or no?
No, we're not going to be flying. We're going to be flying kind of by it.
All right, so...
For such a nice day, I haven't seen a single airplane.
Yeah. Back there? That's the field right there, right?
Yeah, that's first flight.
Oh, no, way back there.
Yeah. On the island.
Yeah.
You can let first flight know we're flying over if you want to.
First flight 92 Hotel, overflying the runway. First flight traffic. First flight traffic, Columbia, 7 miles to the northwest, inbound, runway 21.
Oh, there you go. He's 7 miles to the north.
7 miles that way? Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so we're going to assume we're using runway 23. It's only been 30 minutes since we got the weather, so we can come in for 2-3 and check the windsock, or we can get the ATIS. Your choice. I'll leave it up to you.
Well, let's get the ATIS.
Alright, go ahead and get it.
Where is it?
Com 2.
Com 9. Visibility 10. Clear, low, 12,000. Temperature 19 Celsius. Dew point 8. Altimeter 3012.
Alright. We can go ahead and switch over to Dare County since we're coming up on it.
Manio, Dare County Airport. Automated weather observation 1334. Zulu weather wind 270 at 9er.
Alright, 270 at 9er. Oh, sorry. Alright, so there's two ways we can enter from here. We can head down this way to the left, and we can do a straight in final for 2-3, or we can go toward the north end of the airport, cross over center field for a left downwind 2-3.
Let's cross over for left downwind.
Alright, so we need to go toward the north end of the island, and then we'll cross over the middle. Also, go ahead and start getting us kind of slowed down. at some point. So we don't want to wait until we're on the airport to really try to slow it down, because then we're going to be wasting time in the traffic pattern.
So 2,000 RPM, okay?
Yeah, I'd bring it back a little bit more too, because we want to start descending. Or we want to be around 1,500 feet by the time we cross over center field. And dial back that trim a little bit, so that you can retrim the airplane for a different airspeed, slower airspeed. That'll keep the airplane flying slower.
Skyline depart.
You gotta love 122.8.
Too much traffic?
Yeah.
There's another airport on it?
Everybody's just stepping on it. There was a Cessna taking off down there, but I didn't catch the runway.
Okay.
We'll look out for him. And let Dare County know that we're inbound and we're going to be crossing center field, left downwind 23.
Dare County traffic 92 Hotel is inbound, going to cross runway 23 for a left downwind for 23, Dare County.
What's your current position coming up on good time?
Looks like he's taking off now.
Yeah, see him. Thought I heard somebody else calling him.
Oh, traffic 283 Lima is left base 31.
I think it was a different airport.
Mark County traffic, I'm sorry, 40 Bravo is on the left downwind for 21, touch go.
Let's hold about 1,500 feet as we come in and cross over. That way we're 500 feet above traffic pattern altitude.
Okay, so left about now?
We'll hold it just for another minute or two.
There's some bumps.
As we come in on runway 23, you can expect to get bumped around quite a bit.
Henderson traffic, Sportstar 2 Papa Victor is 4 miles to the south.
Okay, so now we're falling below 15.
For runway.
They're about 2,000 RPM for E1.
2400.
It's that point where you get hold altitude. Alright?
Mark County traffic, I'm sorry, 40 Bravo is turning left base runway 21.
Alright, so somebody called in.
That was a different airport.
The first one was here, right?
No, that was a different airport.
There's a airplane over there.
That's the guy that was departing. There's a lot of airports around here that have runway 23.
Oh, okay, that's fine. There you go.
Alright, see if you can hold that altitude a little bit better. Yeah.
Mark County traffic, 840 Alpha Bravo is...
I stand corrected, you were right, there is a guy on final.
Yeah. I don't see him. Oh, there he is.
He's on final.
Yeah.
Retrim, give yourself some trim back. Hold that nose up a little bit more so you can fly slower.
Oxford Henderson traffic, full limit is 3 miles out to the north on the extended downwind for runway 24.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get that car beat on. We can go ahead and do that now.
Henderson
Try to make sure the mixture's all the way in. So it is.
2.5 miles.
As we kind of cross over, we can pull some power because we're a little high. So we can pull some power back and just kind of bring it on into the downwind as we get into the traffic pattern altitude.
Are we over the field now?
Yep. Go ahead and pull the power back a little bit. Keep that airspeed kind of low so that we're ready to configure for flaps.
Traffic, Cessna Juliet Hotel, turning downwind for 124.
Go ahead and start your downwind turn.
Dare County traffic 92 Hotel is turning left downwind for runway 23, Dare County. I don't see the runway, so I don't know what there it is.
Turn until you are going to the south end of Jockey's Ridge, the big sand dunes.
Yep.
Where the sand dunes meet houses. Aim for that point. That kind of puts you parallel to it. And we need to make sure we're losing some altitude because we're kind of high. There we go. Oh, and bring the power back a little bit more. Hold that nose up. Hold that nose up a little bit more. Pull it back. Alright, airspeed's dropping down. You go ahead and put 10 degrees of flaps in. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3.
Mark County traffic, sorry,
And go ahead and make your left base.
Already in the pattern of off the runway heading to the southwest.
Dare County traffic 92 Hotel is turning left base runway 23, Dare County.
Farmville traffic, Liberty 144, departing to the west. This will be our last call, Farmville traffic. Henderson traffic, Sports Star 2 Papa Victor on a...
Yeah, we only see the runway.
For,
Just bring it until you're flying up the side of the island.
Oxford 4,
About right there. Okay. All right, kind of far out. You gotta compensate for your wind a little bit more. The wind has pushed you way out here. Okay. All right, so a little bit of power just to keep our altitude. We don't want to get too low too fast. We'll keep 10 degrees of flaps in. We don't want to add any more drag until we get closer to the runway, right? And just keep the airspeed around 80. Okay. Do you want to keep that airspeed a little higher out here because the wind gets a little crazy sometimes. So you really want to be able to fight it. So with a little bit more airspeed comes more control authority, and you can not get blown all over the place as much. All right. Go ahead and bring back power slightly, and we'll start entering a small shallow descent again. Go ahead and start thinking about final also. The wind is going to be coming from your right, so it's going to be trying to blow you to the left.
Dare County traffic, 92 Hotel, turning final for runway 23, Dare County.
All right, bring some more power back. Bring it back. Bring it back some more. All right, 20 degrees of flaps. Bring it in a little bit more. That's only about 15. There you go. All right, now fight that wind. Don't let it blow you around too much. As we come in over those trees, where if it goes into the clearing, we're going to bump around quite a bit. All right, so just expect that. Don't let it blow you around. Be aggressive on it. Okay. All right, power back just a little bit because we're a little high. Remember, power controls altitude. So if you're high, you can pull some power back. If you're low, you put some power in. The whole time you're pitching for about 80. Bring the power back because we're high. Let's go ahead and drop in 10 more degrees of flaps. All right, stop pulling back so much. Let the nose forward. All right, and from here we can probably just glide it in, so we'll leave that power back. Okay. There we go. Power all the way back? It is. All right. All right, 10 more degrees of flaps. Port final, 30 degrees of flaps. That'll really get us slowed down. We'll land a little long here. Okay. That's okay. That helped us get past those bumps. Just fight for that center line. Don't let yourself get blown off to the grass. A little bit to the right. Hold that right aileron in. Right aileron. Left rudder. Left rudder. Right aileron. Too much right aileron. Hold it level. Hold it level. Hold it. Pull it off. Pull it off. Hold. Hold. Pull back. Pull back. Pull back. And there it is. And then we'll just kind of coast to a stop. Not a whole lot of runway left for a touch and go. All right, just kind of slow us down, ease into the brakes nice and easy, don't burn them up, and then let's take Gulf. A little bit slower before you try to turn. All right, there you go. If you try to turn the airplane too fast, you'll just end up skidding on the tires. Okay, and then let's stop right past the threshold here. Is that a Pilatus right there? That's a TBM. Ooh. It's like a baby Pilatus. And then let's grab that after landing checklist and run through it.
Landing, wait. After landing, okay, flaps up. Carb heat off. Strobes off.
Yep, we never got them on.
Off, landing light off, taxi, we never did. Mixture
out about an inch.
Out an inch, there you go. Trim for takeoff. And transponder to stamp. I'll leave that on altitude, right?
Good job, man.
Thank you.
How'd that feel? Felt good. First landing in a Cessna wasn't all that bad. Felt good. Good. Your wind correction needs work. Okay. But that's normal.
It's probably the second time I've done a crosswind landing.
Yeah.
So
I always tell people if you can learn to land out here, you can learn to land anywhere because we always have wind. It's always a crosswind.
What you needed to do was hold a little bit of right aileron in, because we don't have a crazy crosswind. You can see the windsock; it's just a little bit of an angle.
Yep.
And if you want to nudge into the wind, so if you're nudging into the wind and you're using that right wing to combat a crosswind, you don't want to be turning off to the right.
So you left rudder.
So you use a little bit of left rudder to hold the longitudinal axis of the plane straight with the runway.
Right.
That way you land straight, and you're not landing like sideways with a bunch of skidding action.
Yep.
And you can help combat that wind. I don't know if your instructor's gone into forward slips with you, but that's what it is.
No.
A forward slip is when you add a little bit of rudder aileron one way and a little bit of rudder pressure the other way, and you're essentially flying a little sideways on the way in.
And that helps
and
you lose
down.
Helps you lose altitude too.
Now
right?
in a Cessna 172, you're not supposed to do a hard slip with full flaps.
Okay.
Because you can get a horizontal stabilizer stall. Okay. And then if the horizontal stabilizer stalls, then you nose down into the ground.
Yeah.
So you only want to do, I do like a baby slip, like just a little bit. All right.
Yeah.
If you have no flaps, then you can do a hard slip. But if you have 30 degrees of flaps in, you need to watch it, because then you can get a horizontal stabilizer stall. With 40 degrees of flaps in, I wouldn't do it at all.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and taxi back and do one more. Next time you come in, we'll do more landings.
Yeah.
But now you're getting comfortable with the airplane.
Yep.
Plus, I really got to use the bathroom because I drank all that coffee this morning. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, I got to use the bathroom.
All right, are we crossing a runway or anything up here or no?
Yeah, we got to cross that runway that we crossed earlier, 1735. That's down. You'll see the sign down here. Yeah. This airport, if you ever fly in here during the summertime, this airport will be the busiest uncontrolled airport you would ever flown in your life.
Really?
Yes, it is insane. There'll be eight planes in the pattern, a couple on the ground waiting to take off, and there'll be skydiving and banner towing going on. It's crazy.
Wow. You ever watch the videos of them, the inbounds to Oshkosh?
Yeah.
You know,
Some days during the summertime, it feels like Oshkosh here.
and they tell you, right? The ATC, the controllers, they're not calling you by name. They're just saying, rock your wings.
Yeah. So my point is, you want to make sure you're paying attention to runway markings.
Got it.
At a towered or uncontrolled, always. Make sure that you're paying attention to them. In the summertime, it's very, very common to get in people's way if you're not watching it. So we're crossing 1735 on Alpha.
Dare County traffic, 92 Hotel, crossing 1735 on Alpha, Dare County traffic.
All right, right's clear, left is clear, good to cross. Yeah, so I don't know what the field elevation is of your home airport.
450 feet.
That makes sense because you said you want to turn crosswind at about 800 feet. We're at sea level.
Well, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
We're at sea level, so we want to turn crosswind around 500 to 600 feet. We want to turn downwind around 700 to 800 feet.
So we turn actually at 1,200 feet.
Okay. Do you have any obstacles?
800 feet AGL.
Do you have any?
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, I do it the way the AIM says to do it. But everybody does it different. The other instructor I work with, he tells people to turn crosswind at 700 feet. So I like to turn at 500 feet. The reason being is that keeps you within gliding distance of that runway over there if something were to happen on the crosswind.
Gotcha.
If you wait too long, then there's a possibility of not being able to make the airport as the runway. You have to land on the sandbar out there.
We don't have to do another run-up, right?
No. But we need to run through the before takeoff checklist just real quick and hit the bullet points.
Alright, pre-takeoff, flaps 0 to 10. We want them at 10?
No, we want them at 0. The only time we use flaps 10 in the Cessna is for soft field takeoff.
Alright, mixture to best power, carb heat to off.
Yep.
Alright.
There we go.
That's right away. Doors and windows are locked. Transponder to altitude and 1200. Landing light on. Strobes. You want the strobes on?
Yes, sir.
Alright, note the time.
Alright, it's coming up on 10.
Okay. Anybody?
Don't see anybody.
Dare County traffic, 92 Hotel, taking runway 23 for takeoff and closed landing.
Closed traffic.
Dare County.
Closed traffic, you mean?
Yeah, closed traffic.
There you go. Alright, let's do it.
Alright. Try to get fancy and put up. Fancy on me? Honestly, I just didn't know what to say.
There you go.
Square everything up. I'm set. Ready?
Alright, let's do it. Hold the aileron just a little bit to the right. That'll compensate for it trying to push you to the left. Got it. And then just use that rudder to stay straight. It's pretty smooth up here today.
Ready?
500-600 feet. Crosswind.
Dare County traffic 92 hotel turning. Crosswind runway 23 Dare County. Okay, climbing turn.
And then just kind of aim for where the bridge meets the island over there. Got it. That's about 90 degrees.
Alright.
Give yourself another couple seconds, about 800 feet, turn downwind. There you go.
Dare County traffic 92 hotel turning downwind runway 23 Dare County.
And then 1,000 feet, level the nose, bring the power back to about 2,000. Just under 2,000. Chopping them back. A little bit more.
Alright,
I'll just hold your altitude in the downwind, and with the power back that much, if you hold an altitude, your airspeed will be right there at the bottom of the white arc. You don't have to slow it down and waste time doing that at the configuration. Alright, starting to come up on our touchdown point. We'll pull the carb heat back. There you go. Bring that power back. It doesn't really matter what you bring it back to, just chop it back. Hold that nose up. That way you don't sink down and you bleed off some airspeed. Airspeed's in the white arc. 3 seconds of flaps, 10 degrees. There you go. And here you're starting to lose a little bit of altitude. We want to start just coming down, but don't be pulling back too much.
Oh, got it.
Alright. We're not really descending all that much. We need to bring back power a little bit more. There you go. We'll turn base over the island. Over the little sandbar out there.
Oh, right now?
Yep.
Dare County traffic 92 hotel turning base for runway 23 Dare County.
Yeah, once you start seeing this, and once you kind of get up on the sandbar, go ahead and turn base. That keeps you within gliding distance.
Dare traffic 60495, 6 miles to the west.
If worse comes to worse, you can at least land on the sandbar.
That's true.
And you don't have to get wet.
Done that before? Come around a little more?
Yeah, a little bit more. The wind is trying to blow you away from the runway a little bit here.
Okay.
There you go. Give it a little bit of power in so that we don't get too low. We want our descent path to be bringing us to the runway, not the trees. A little bit more toward the runway. There you go. We got to kind of grab into the wind a little bit.
Nobody coming. Get good altitude for this, 700 feet?
Yeah, about 700, since we're so far out. And we'll turn
close to me.
Yeah.
Full. Turn final?
Teach their own. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and turn final. And bring back just a little bit of power. Hold the nose up.
Dare County traffic 92 hotel is final for runway 23 Dare County.
Alright, go ahead and drop in 20 degrees of flaps. A little bit more. You're only at about 15. There's about 20. Right, airspeed's good. Aiming point's good, glide slope's good, keep it stable, fight the wind, don't get off the center line. Remember, you're gonna you have to nudge into the wind to the right and use that left rudder pedal a little bit. Alright, but if you start turning off to the right, it means you did it too much. Full back power, just chop it, leave the nose down. 30 degrees of flaps. A little bit more, just because we're a little high. There you go. Leave that nose down. And just glide it on in. We're coming in a little steeper on this one to try to avoid those trees. Gotcha. Or the wind with those trees. Leave that nose down. There you go. Keep it just like that. Let it do what it's doing. Now start into a rotation, nice and smooth. Look down the runway, hold it off the ground. Just try to hold your altitude. Or fight for your altitude. Be aggressive with it. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it harder. There you go. That's about average. Wasn't great. Wasn't great. Wasn't bad. Yeah. It was right in the middle. A little bumpy, but you know it does the job. Yep, it does. Main thing is you protected the nose gear. Protect that nose gear. And even now, you see how it's wiggling? Yeah. Hold that yoke back. You see how it's riding smoother now? Oh yeah. And as you get into those brakes, really hold that yoke back. That'll keep you from getting that nose shimmy. Oh, okay. Nice. It was a little bumpy, you just leveled off a little high there, and you held it off, and you held it off, and you held it off, and we just kind of sank into the ground. Oh, okay. So if you level off just a little bit lower than that, then you'll have it. We'll stop here. Somebody told me to really pull back on the thing before we land. That's what you need to do. I know, that's what I did. As you come into land, as you see it starting to come down, you really start pulling back. That way you know that nose is in the air. Yeah. Flaps up. Carb off. Alright, strobes are off, landing light off. Veto heat we never did. Mixture, pull it out an inch. Yep. Time to take off. Transponders. Which we don't really do, right? But no. FAA released a advisory circular. We'll take a right here down to Delta. A couple of years ago, just advising people like, hey,
Dare County traffic,
might be a good idea.
7 miles north inbound. It's going to go overhead and enter the left downwind for runway 23. Dare County.
Said, hey, it might be a good idea to leave your transponders and altitude reporting all the time, because people forget to turn them on. Oh. So you leave them on altitude reporting, you never forget to turn it off. Yeah. Or on. All right, we'll taxi you down to Delta. We got to cross both runways again to get back to the hangar. He's coming in from the
County,
south.
Lane 8 to the south at 1,000. We're inbound for 23, and we'll be looking for the Giant.
We got that guy, the Giant. I don't know. Huh. But as we're taxiing up to Delta here, that runway looks clear to the left. Nobody's taking off. 23 looks clear. Nobody's taking off. As we turn around the corner, we can see the other two. Nobody coming in for 3-5. Nobody taking off. Runway 5 is clear also. And we'll make our radio call and cross.
Dare County traffic, 92 Hotel crossing 23 at Delta, Dare County.
Alright.
Dare County traffic, Giant 455, Mike's overhead, enter the left downwind for 23.
He is saying Giant.
Cool to see what he is.
Alright. When you bring it up, just kind of put it right in front of the hangar there. Okay. We can always pull it up to the hangar. I'll stick it back in.
Looks like they're looking to pull
that
one out.
Dare County traffic, freight train 09, single 847
Just kind of bring it up next to that truck.
North of 1,000 feet,
next to the truck, the red truck there.
Request traffic and landing advisors for Dare County.
Looks like they're about to start up.
Somebody up.
We're using runway 23, wind showing about 250, 10 knots. We have 2 in the pattern.
Copy on landing runway 23, got 2 in the pattern, freight train 0.
Yeah, go ahead and shut her down here.
All
want me to pull the mixture only back? Is that how we get our...
Deer County, Skylane is
Checklist.
mile and a half southwest, and we're going to enter a downwind
Sorry about
behind is Cheyenne. Number 2 to land, Deer County.
It's the securing checklist.
Okay. ELT verify silent, alright.
Yep, I'm sure we're good on that.
Avionics to off. You have to help me with these buttons now.
Avionics master.
Is that right? This one?
Yep.
Mixture to full lean. Mags to off. Oh. Sorry. That's fine. Sorry. I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay. Fuel left to right. Lights off. Beacon light off.
Leave the beacon light on.
Beacon light on. Control lock.
Oh, you skipped one.
Hobbs tech time. Alright.
Master off.
Oh.
Alright.
Okay.
So you always turn your avionics master off first, because whenever you're shutting down the engine, that's the most likely time that the voltage regulator is going to fail.
Gotcha.
So you always shut the avionics off first, no matter what airplane you're in.
Okay.
Especially when you get into the airplanes with the $20,000 equipment.
Avionics off.
Then you pull the mixture. And when the mixture is all the way out, the engine shuts off, and when the engine shuts off and is completely dead, then you turn the mags off, because you don't want to leave unspent fuel charges in the engine. Because if there's a broken grounding wire on the mags, someone goes up there and spins it around, and it'll kick over on them because there's gas in the cylinder now. So you always want to let it run out of gas, then turn the mags off. Don't even reach for the mags until the propeller stops turning.
Got it.
And then master. So avionics mixture master mags.
Alright.
Alright.
That's all she wrote?
That's all she wrote.
Yeah. I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, and then my legs.
And then we'll get everything tidied away.
Alrighty.